Say hello to brother Stan Riley over there in Illinois. How are you doing, Stan?
Doing well, Mark. How are you? Hi, everybody.
Doing good. Now, I think you said you're close to the Chicago area. Is that right?
I am. I am not too far,
Yeah.
and
All
I think we
righty.
talked
So
about
it's
it.
probably is it?
I'm not too far from Gary, Indiana.
Yes. Now, is it dark and cold and snowy outside?
It is. It is. It was
All right.
about a balmy 15 degrees today. Ooh boy,
Yikes. Oh
you
my.
without my
Well,
sunscreen.
it's not quite that way. It's not quite that way here in San Jose. All righty. Real briefly, in a nutshell, tell us a little bit about your music, and you can kick off and share with us tonight.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I didn't pick up a guitar until I was about 47, 48. Uh, decided I had a decided I had a song in me, and I was with a band called Toe, which stood for Time of Worship. And so I wrote a song, played it for the guys and girls, and we worked it out and recorded it. I learned enough
Cool,
on the
cool.
guitar just to communicate that, but then, of course, I got the bug. I never in my life thought I'd be performing live and uh, and solo. So Uh, and then about two
That's
weeks
cool.
before my 2 weeks before my 50th birthday, I put out a CD called Second Chances.
Oh, very cool. All righty. So, what do you got to share with us tonight?
Well, let's go back to this. Daily walking close to Thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Just comes along the day, bringing in Jesus is my place. Daily walking close to Thee, let it be, dear Lord, let it be. I make us our strong. Jesus, keep me from wrong. I'll be satisfied as long as I walk, dear Lord, close to Thee. Just a closer walk with Thee. Praying in Jesus is my place. Daily walking close to Thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Through this world of toil and strife, you find falter, Lord, who cares? And be my burden shares. Another day, dear Lord, another day. Yeah, just a closer walk day. Bringing out in Jesus is my place. Daily walking close to Thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. When my feeble life is over, time for me will be no more. Got me gently, safely over thy kingdom, dear Lord, that I show yeah, just a closer walk with me. Right Jesus is my place. Daily walking close to thee. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be. Let it be, dear Lord, let it be.
All right, folks, we are hanging out with Brother Stan Riley here. I noticed you kind of tapped into the country gospel vein there. Is that kind of a part of your musical DNA? Would you say? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay.
When I was young, and I grew up in Independence, Missouri, uh, and when I was young, I remember having this kitchen clock radio, and it was on all morning long on Saturday mornings, and we were hearing people like Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline, uh, George Jones, all the good old goodens is what they
Mm.
would call them. Uh, uh, and then that same radio would be on Sunday morning. Uh,
Mm.
I'd still hear Johnny Cash, Patsy Cline,
Yeah.
Willie Nelson. We'd still hear all those guys, but now they're singing gospel on
Yeah.
that Sunday morning. And so I think that all of them. Oh, I left out Elvis Presley. My goodness.
Mm.
Uh, uh, all of that was a huge influence on me growing up. So,
Mm. It's interesting. So, for myself, I kind of went kind of full circle because growing up, my parents would play, like country and country gospel, and they had Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Record as a kid. As I grew up and started getting into like classic rock and stuff, I really ended up not liking country because that's like my parents' music, and I just wanted something different.
yeah.
But now, many years later, the Lord's taken my parents home, and I'm doing like Christian blues rock. But the interesting thing about it, when you get into the blues world, you realize that sort of stylistic spillover, and you start touching these other things like the country gospel, and I start remembering some of the old tunes from my parents, like Because He Lives by Bill Gaither, um,
Hmm.
um, Will the Circle Be Unbroken that everybody in the country world has done,
Oh
and all of a
yeah.
sudden those songs is like, okay, wait a minute, those songs actually were kind of really powerful songs after all, and actually, why was I not liking those songs? And
Yeah.
so I've sort of rediscovered them,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
cool. Yeah. What else you got to share with us tonight?
Well, let me play this song I wrote just a few years ago called "I Need You." Uh, I have a friend of mine. He might be on watching tonight. He produced it for me. Named Mark Bowie, and pretty talented guy. So this is called "I Need You." It ought to be easy, but it ain't. To choose between the demons and me. You know I know what I need to do to break free. The hold is just too strong and I can't do it on my own. I need you. I feel burning breath on my skin. Know just where it's coming from. I try to fight it, but I can't do it on my own. All I've done is prove I lose again. Again and again, I need you. I need you, Please say you will. Tell me it's okay. Won't you take my hand? Come on, take my hand. Won't you fight with me? Right by my side with me, I need you. I need you. Whoa. Whoa. Won't you take my hand? Come on, take my hand. Won't you fight with me? Right by my side with me, I need you. I need you. Oh, yeah. I need you. I need you. I need you. Lord, I need you.
Mm. Very cool. Very cool. Now,
Thank you.
did you say that was an original tune?
It is. That's
Oh, really?
that's original.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about how does the songwriting process happen for you? I know how it happens for me, but I'm like really weird, and I just wonder how other people do it.
You know, uh, I try to get inspired. Yeah, sometimes inspiration just hits me. Um, but as far as writing goes, it's kind of funny. I mean, I'll write. I'll get lyrics first. I'll have a melody in my head, and I'll get
Yeah.
some lyrics, and I'll do it. And I've had people tell me that's backwards, and it's like, you know what, that works for me.
Well,
That's fine.
it hits you out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's really it's God's inspiration. Uh,
Yeah.
there's a song. If I get to do a fifth song, I'll play one called uh, Only One, which okay, now I got to play that, don't I? Since I'm bringing it up. Uh, the one morning before church, and I was going to a plug and play church in a middle school. My uh, my I'm one of these morning people that people love to hate, and my wife is not a morning person. And I was joking around, getting up, getting ready to go, and I said to her, "Hey, that breakfast isn't going to fix itself." And she crawled right back into bed. And I'm stopping at the drive-thru on the way to church. So we were joking about it at church, and I told the pastor that sermon's not going to preach itself. The guitar player, that guitar is not going to play itself, and so it just turned into a whole big thing. And then went back home and wrote this song right here. This is called Only One. Uh, I took some time to think about my life, where I've been, where I'm going. Don't get me wrong, and I try to walk like Christ, but just here lately, it ain't showing. I could have faced that fire on my own. Without a doubt, I would have failed. Well, there's a friend of mine who I talk to every day. So don't worry, my son, I already took that nail. Now I'm not walking all alone. No, I'm not walking all alone. This pain ain't gonna heal itself. This chain ain't gonna break itself. This wrong ain't gonna right itself. And this song ain't gonna sing itself. This pain ain't gonna heal itself. Nah, this chain ain't gonna break itself. This song ain't gonna right itself. And this song ain't gonna sing itself. There's only one I'll ever find. There's only one I'll ever find. All of the struggles I face in my life seem to have my back at the wall, and I can always remember and don't ever forget that God sent His only Son to die for me on the cross. Now I'm not walking all alone. No, I'm not walking all alone. This pain ain't gonna heal itself. Now this chain ain't gonna break itself. This song ain't gonna right itself, man. This song ain't gonna sing itself. This pain ain't gonna heal itself. Now this chain ain't gonna break itself. This wrong ain't gonna right itself, man. This song ain't gonna sing itself. There's only one I'll ever find. There's only one I'll ever find. There's only one I'll ever find. Only one I'll ever find. Walk that life for me. Yeah, this pain ain't gonna heal itself. This chain ain't gonna break itself. This song ain't gonna write itself. And this song ain't gonna sing itself. This pain ain't gonna heal itself. No, this chain ain't gonna break itself. This song ain't gonna write itself. And this song ain't gonna sing itself. And the only one I'll ever find. Only one I'll ever find. Walk that line for me, Jesus will. Oh, yeah, Jesus will.
All righty. All right.
That's fun.
Very cool, Stan. All righty. So, um, now, by the way, I noticed in your bio here, I saw references to Good Old Days, Second
Mhm.
Chances, and Just a Splinter. And can you just clarify for the audience what those are referring to?
Yeah, Good Old Days is a song that I had written uh, before we moved out of the Rockford area in the church we were going to up there. And there's some folks in that that I mentioned in that song that are people around the church. There's Dottie who made the coffee religiously every Sunday morning. There's Lorraine who was the only one who could play the organ in church, and man, could she play it. Uh, there's Just a Splinter is a bluegrass tune. Um, uh, I wanted to write something to play the mandolin. And what was the other one you mentioned, Mark?
Um, Second Chances?
Oh, Second Chances was one I wrote pretty early on. And Second Chances is just about uh, some of struggles with addiction and
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and that's what I named that CD that I wrote,
Yeah, yeah.
or that I
So,
recorded.
recovery is a really important theme. I think I mentioned earlier, you might have heard my band just last night. We finally got to play at a local recovery ministry where the whole band, because of the shutdown, had not been able to be there for almost 2 years.
So,
It has been very tough because that's a special thing in our hearts is playing for recovery groups, you know.
yeah. Well, on uh, a Saturday coming up here in March, I'll be playing at the Overflowing Cup. It's up in Beloit, Wisconsin. They do have live
Mm,
concerts. They start at 7 o'clock Central Time on Saturday nights, uh, and that church was founded on bringing recovery to people and bringing those people to
yeah,
God.
yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. At some point, be sure to post about that and let people know when it's coming up, especially if they have any kind of streaming available.
Yeah, sure will. They do. They post it. It's called the Overflowing Cup in Beloit,
Mm,
Wisconsin, and I think it's a long name. It's actually the Overflowing Cup since 1974, I think. Uh,
mm.
Longest running ministry in this area, Midwest, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
It's something
Yeah, the
I'm
place we
humbled to be
played at
part of.
last night, they're coming up on their 30th anniversary. So I love those ones that have been having the longevity thing going on. So what else have you
Yeah.
got to play for us tonight, bro?
Well, let me get one more in. This is kind of a bluegrass song. I just don't have my mandolin down, so I'm going to play this. This is called Without Him.
Mm.
God won't give me anything I can't handle without Him. Without Him. Without Him, there'd be no prayer. Without Him, there'd be no love. Without Him, no forgiveness, no second chances. Without Him, oh, without Him, without Him, there'd be no music. Without Him, there'd be no song. Without Him, there'd be no dancing, no praising Him to heaven. Without Him, oh, without Him. Jesus loves me, this I know, and He wants to be my all in all. There'll be no one to call on in the good times and the bad without Him, without Him. And Jesus knows me, this I love. I love that He's my all in all. I've got some love, praying, love, and singing, faith and faith with Him. Oh, with Him.
Amen. Amen. Very cool.
All
Did you
right.
say you had one more to go, or did you have one more tune to go?
I can do one more.
Okay, I
Uh,
think Red said we were good for 5 tunes. So if you want to jump on it, do
did
it
he?
before he changes his mind.
Well, Red gives it a thumbs up. Well, I can do another tune. How
Yeah, why
about
not?
you brought up good old days?
Yeah.
Uh, let me uh, let me see if I can get that going.
That's funny. If Brad gives a thumbs up.
Miss Dottie's in the kitchen with the coffee on. The coffee crowd is singing along while the band plays, getting ready for Sunday. There's people walking around, shaking hands. You ought to see that smile on the maintenance man when he's told again, hey, that light's out, my friend. And I can feel this place filling up with amazing grace. And I can feel the love rain down on this place. Giving hugs and shaking hands, sharing laughs with all my friends. Can't help but know that I am living in the good old days. Miss Lorraine takes her seat at the piano. She's forgotten more than we'll ever know. And there she goes again. That's our cue to go on in. And the Sunday school teacher's getting ready for the kids to get big old hugs and a little kid kiss. I love you, Miss Jen. What snack did you bring in? And I can feel this place filling up with amazing grace. And I can feel the love rain down on this place. Giving hugs and shaking hands, sharing laughs with all my friends. I can't help but know that I am living in the good old days. The good old days. The preacher takes the stage. We all bow our heads to pray. Give thanks to God for the gifts He gave. And I can feel this place filling up with amazing grace. And I can feel the love rain down on this place. Giving hugs and shaking hands, sharing laughs with all my friends. I can't help but know that we are living in years from now, when I look back on the times that made me who I am, the time I spent with God, family and friends. These are the good old days, the good old days. We're living in the good old days.
All righty, folks. Stan Riley there. Thank you so much for sharing with us today.
Thanks, Mark.
Y'all online, give him some love there in the comment section too. And all right, so Stan, is there some place on the internet where people can reach you?
Yeah, StanRileyMusic.com. I'm also, I have a Facebook page, Stan Riley Music. At StanRiley.com, you can hear all the songs that are off of that CD from a few years back, and a couple of new ones too.
Alrighty, very good, folks.
You might want to look. Actually, Mark, you might want to look at it because there's a recording that I did of the Serenity Prayer on there.
Oh, okay, very good.
Put that
good.
To music.
Duly noted. Yes, I'll have to take a look at that. All right, folks. Once again, thank you so much, Stan Riley. Be blessed.